A new report into disgraced former Minister Iain Lees-Galloway's ministerial expenditure has found no evidence of inappropriate spending. Mr Lees-Galloway was stripped of his ACC immigration and workplace relations and safety portfolios last month for having an affair with a former staffer. The Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern commissioned a report to make sure taxpayer funds weren't inappropriately used during the course of his relationship. The report was released a short time ago. And with more on this, we are joined by our political reporter, Charlie Dreaver. Hi, Charlie. What did Ministerial Services investigate specifically here?
Good evening, Lisa. Well, Ministerial Services conducted a line-by-line review of all of his expenditure. Now, that includes staff and spouse expenditure and transactions, all the way back from January last year through to June this year. That also included domestic and international travel, which included a trip that the minister took to Paris earlier this year. And they looked at the likes of things as even meals for ministerial staff.
So what exactly did they find?
Well, they found that all of the expenditure and transaction was consistent with the relevant legislation and policies around spending public funds. And off the back of that, because they didn't find any inappropriate spending, they've put out a recommendation that no further review is needed.
Charlie, do we know whether this woman was with him on any of these trips and on that international trip in particular to Paris?
Well, that Paris trip is subject to an OIA at the moment. They did mention a staff member going with him on the Paris trip. So you can make your own conclusions from that, but that was one trip in particular that they did pay close attention to.
OK, so how has the Prime Minister responded to the findings?
Well, the Prime Minister, as you mentioned before, was the one who actually commissioned this report in the first place to make sure that there was no inappropriate spending going on during the course of that relationship. She put out a brief statement this evening, basically saying that because of the findings of the review and because of the fact that Iain Lees-Galloway has departed from Parliament and he won't be seeking re-election this year, that she now considers the matter closed. And I'm thinking, and I think hoping as well, that this won't provide a further distraction for the election campaign.
Thanks, Charlie. That's Charlie Dreaver, our political reporter there, joining us live from our gallery